I'm here with the absolutely gorgeous Lola Berry. I'm so excited.
You say that so excited, I like it.
Lola is the author of 4 books. You are one of Australia's leading nutritionists and also a yoga teacher. And I think you're just so inspiring. You inspire so many people every day. And I'm grateful that you're spending a little bit of time with me. And I know that the people out there, we're going to be fangirling. When I told people that I was interviewing you, they were like, But Lola, I'd love to know what inspired you to become this powerhouse nutritionist and yoga teacher?
For me, it's just about living your truth and about doing what's right in your heart, so your passion. And when I explain that to people, because a lot of people say, well, I don't exactly know what you mean by that. And I go, when does time stop for you? So when you're doing something that you love and time all of a sudden just doesn't matter. You know, you could, this interview for example, you'll be like, Lola, we've talked too much. You know what I mean? Like, time stops for me. Yeah. So with the yoga and with the nutrition, yes, at first it was for aesthetics and to feel good and look great on the beach and all that. But now it's like, no, this is actually, in yoga we call it your dharma or your dharmic kind of flow, and it's where you're doing exactly what you've been put here to do. It's your bliss. That's why I do it, because it is my bliss.
I love that, absolutely love that. So do you think that everyday people can just benefit from yoga?
Everybody could do with a little bit of yoga in their life. It doesn't mean you need to be able to do some crazy whiz-bang backward bend by any means, or be able to do a handstand. I think yoga, I describe it to people as a gift that I give myself, but a gift that I share with others. What I want people to take away from this is you don't need to be hyper-flexy and amazing and, you know, doing contortions and turn your body into a pretzel. It's not about that. A lot of people say to me, like, can I do it if I'm not flexible? It's even more reason to do it. It's about, I believe yoga is actually more about this, because you're honouring your body for that hour or 90 minutes, however long the class is. Especially vinyasa yoga, which is the yoga that I generally practice and teach. It's about unifying the body and breath. And it's beautiful when you start moving to breath. It's very powerful. And then you walk out of a yoga class, you're calm, you've got better energy, you're not stressed out, you're nicer to your partner. You know, yoga it does those subtle little things, but in the big picture is quite life-changing. Best gift.
That's amazing. Well, I would love for you to give me a little bit of a gift today, if you wouldn't mind. I would love to know how you can take yoga into your everyday life, even if it's something simple. Like for me, I'm a new mum and I don't have a lot of time, but I'd love to just know something simple that I could do, say when I wake up in the morning or after a really stressful day and I've got 5 minutes to myself. Like, what kind of pose can we just do?
There's a few cool things that we can do. So I've had a little think about this. The first thing in the morning, think about, we want to get energy and we want to kind of like invigorate and set ourselves up from the day. So there's a thing called sun salute A's. And that's where you literally salute the sun. It is a bit dynamic and there's a few movements, but the idea behind it is it builds this thing in the body called tapas, and tapas is fiery discipline.
So it's not just those little Spanish bits and pieces that you can eat?
Not exactly that, but I do think about that every time I teach it, or I get worried that I say it wrong and it sounds like I'm talking about bums. I get a bit worried about that, but yes, that's what it does mean, fiery discipline in the body. So that's the first thing I want to show you. It's called sun A's. So it will be a bit of movement. And then I want to show you one heart opening pose. So if you've had a stressful day, and if you think about our days, even as a young mama, and you're doing a million and one things, but like if you think about your day, you're cooking, you're bending over. So I want to show you one pose to open that up, and that opens your heart chakra up too, so more open to love, even though you will be totally open. The other thing I want to show you is a hip release and a twist, only because end of a big day, you want to let go of stress.
Right, well let's get started.
Yes, we'll start with maybe the fiery stuff.
So the salute to the sun.
Absolutely, really easy, but remember it's about breath. Yeah, so tuning into your breath here. So you're going to reach your hands to the sky as you inhale. Bow forward, let it go. Take a halfway lift, so fingertips still touching the ground. And then we're going to step back to a high plank position, 1 foot at a time. Yep, you want to stack your shoulders above your wrists. Now drop the knees to the mat here. And then you're going to come into a baby cobra. So you come all the way down, and a baby cobra, you just lift your chest off the mat. Yeah, and you just want to be looking a little bit in front of your mat. And then you're going to tuck the toes back under, press back to a downward facing dog. That's 1 round of sun A's. Yeah, so in the morning though, what you would want to do is 2 rounds of it. 2 to 3, you already like just doing 2 or 3 poses of it, you get quite warm. But what you want to make sure you do is just bring your knees to the mat so that you're not placing pressure on your lumbar spine. Next pose is a heart opener. It's really important that you listen to your body for this one. So what you're going to do is we're just going to come up onto our knees. Put your hands, like pretend you're going to put them into the back of your jean pockets, yeah? So fingers facing down. You want to turn your core on, so suck your, we call it navel to spine, so belly on. And then you're going to kind of like shimmy the elbows close together, peel the heart open, let the head tilt back. Okay, now you can take it further if you want, but you've got to have done a bit of yoga to do that, but eventually the full pose is called Camel, which is what I'm doing. Yeah, there you go, beautiful. When you ever come out of a back bend, you just really want to just sit with it, just palms facing up. And it shouldn't be too painful, that one. If it feels a bit painful, you've just gone a bit too far. Yeah. So just really listen to your body with that one.
You can really feel your body just opening up and almost like your back just cracking a little bit, but in a good way. And then you just feel alive.
Back bends are really good. But just be really mindful, like listen to your lower back and keep your tummy turned on. That's the trick. Nighttime. You've had a stressful day at work. How can you kind of wind down? First pose I'm going to show you is called half pigeon. Ooh. So, hands out in front. We'll go back to that down dog we were talking about before. Right leg lifted up. And then you're going to bring that right knee to your right wrist. Perfect. Now, if that feels really full on in your hip, you just bring that foot closer to the body. If you're like, oh, this is a pinch, you can drag it further away, but I like to keep it kind of close. You want the back leg to be reasonably straight. And what you do is you kind of come up onto your fingertips, take a breath in, and then just simply fold forward. And then just bow forward, shut the eyes, forehead to hands or the mat. This can feel really bitey in your hips, but it's such a good way to let go of the stresses of the day. You can put a good tune on and like you can hold this for up to 5 minutes if you want. And I'm sure you're gonna be like, what am I gonna make for dinner? What am I gonna do for the kids? Yeah. What am I gonna, that all comes in, but I tell people when that happens, think back to the last time you're doing something that you loved, and then the cool thing about that is it comes back to their bliss.
Yeah, right. Because it is hard to actually switch off.
Absolutely. So the last one I want to show you for nighttime is we're going to go onto our backs. So what you want to do is bring your feet up to tabletop, coil the right leg over the left, and then we're going to drop our legs to the left. Bring your hands up like cactus, because I'm right near you, but normally you would do T. And then bring your gaze to the right, shut the eyes, and let your knees drop to the left. How good does that feel? And then we just reverse, come back to tabletop, left leg over right, drop the legs one way, and then the gaze to the other way. And that's good because it gives your neighbour privacy too. And this is so good right before bed. If you have trouble sleeping or stressed out and anxious at night time, this is just the business. It's so good. The days I do yoga, best nights I sleep.
Like you can't sleep very well when you're pregnant in the best of times, but after doing pregnancy yoga that night, I knew that you'd get a good sleep. And it's amazing, and it's just doing really simple things.
Yeah.
Like you're not necessarily working up a sweat or, you know, it's just...
And that's what I think to tell people about yoga, it doesn't need to be too hard, it can be simple. When you start, you can start with just doing 2 or 3 poses in the morning and looking at stuff online, and then maybe you do get to a class.
Some people, I guess, are hesitant to go to a yoga class because they might not have done it before. They might feel like you need to be quite good at yoga to go, but...
Yeah, no way. I remember I started and I didn't even know what a down dog was, and here I am after. So honestly, just get outside the comfort zone, give it a crack at home, and then maybe try it out.